Hello. Hello. Okay. Okay. Oh, we've got a... The red console is not what we want to be rocking. Okay. Okay. I'm just waiting for my sody pop to get cold, but while that is happening, we could think about what are we going to do here. I have a list of things. I remember this now. We had a meeting and we made a list. We made a list. Oh, yes. You ordered Chinese food? I just had weird, bad chain Japanese food / Chinese, and it wasn't that bad, actually. Scrap the whole thing and start over? Yeah. So we had a meeting this week where we talked about some movement issues. And I will start looking at those. I heard Franz Liszt loved lists. So even that is fucked right there. Oh, I already wrote that one down. That is fucked as well. I'm going to email this one right now. Let me restart the game. I want to know if that happens. Whoops. I want to know if that happens without undo. I want to know if that happens just due to reset. Yep. After undo or reset, vertical beams do not correctly go vertical again. This really messes with playability and should be a high to fix. Thanks. Boom. Screenshot. There we go. Okay. How are my current estimates for potential productivity gains looking compared to my talks? I would still say we're in the same zone where 20% is definite and 50% is possible. Like that still sounds reasonable to me. It's just that getting that possible 50% involves that involves a lot more work that like hasn't been done yet on like program visualization tools and stuff, which I started actually just this last weekend or whatever. I started making a program visualization tool, but it's a long way from something that's going to be that good. How do you transition from web to you start making games? What do you think? What? Why do people ask me questions like that? Yeah, this isn't, you don't need permission to start making video games. Nobody's going to give you permission to start making video games. Everybody I know in the industry who was successful just started making video games. It's not a facetious answer. It's like literally how you do it. Okay, so I emailed this bug. Now what? Let's fix the actual falling bug. I kind of don't know. Let's run in the debugger. Let's get into trouble, baby. All right. Gonna go here. I don't know if I've debugged x64 in a while, so we'll see how that is. I really could use some caffeine. I want a good golden monkey tea, even though drinking that this late is a mistake. Yeah, I'm not going to get a golden monkey tea. It's a mistake. Maybe it's not a mistake. Maybe it is not a mistake. Okay, so I don't know why we keep starting here. Let's start here. Half but full toggler. Turk toggler. Okay, Turk toggler, we're going to start falling. What is this? Okay, so we start falling. Boom. What the hell was that? Okay, you know what? That's not even where I wanted to be. I want to break in. Continue falling. Why is that? Oh shit, that's a totally other. How about add falling move? Where is that? Let's get rid of this paint window. We have too many windows. Let's close telemetry, even though it's a good idea to have it up to remind ourselves that our compiler is fucking slow. Add falling move. What? Why is Visual Studio add following move? It's literally right there. Line 87. Am I not in the right? What is even happening right now? What file is this? D Sogomon source falling. Line 87. Add falling move. Line 80. This is move transact. Dude, I know this file. This is totally the wrong file. Oh, it just wasn't on the list. Oh, it was over there, I guess. What is even happening? I'm looking here. I'm like, there's only one file. By the concept of actually making money, dude, you have no idea how much video game people make if you're saying that. Dude, lead engine programmers make some money. Especially this year. Okay, so let's continue the running. Wait, why are we starting falling? Are we? Okay, I guess we're in a fall loop. So this is a teleport, which it should be. And we're marked to disappear after the teleport. I don't like that debugging. That was weird. Wait. Info.ocean present. Oh, because we're checking the movement target. Because it's like, oh, you're teleporting way off the map. But I'm like, but that doesn't mean I'm going down under the water. I was lashing at the guy here who says, what? But you, okay, look, I'm not going to use horrible words to describe web programmers, but like, it's not a particularly advanced form of programming. In fact, it's a pretty low form of programming where it's almost nobody is good because they don't have the opportunity to get good regardless of their natural skills or inclinations because they're doing garbage all day. Like, that's just factual. So, you know, there's no reason to be mean about it or anything, but it is what it is. Game developers are the most notorious abused tech. That's false. You read too many fucking left-wing Jason Schreier bullshit. Like, that is completely a distorted picture of the games industry. Completely distorted. Of course it is. You don't need that level of complexity to automate every single... So, yeah. So if someone is saying it's not a very highly skilled profession and you agree, then why start an argument? Yeah, and it was a parody quote, which is the funniest part. It's easy not to know that quote. But yes, it is. It was a send up, or not exactly a send up. It was a callback. See, even here, I have this splash. See, now I want to debug the splashy because that shouldn't be happening either. Is it like into water? I think we have a query function that's like into water. No, splash. Perform splash. Perform splash is inside water. Oh, and same flag. Wrong if we are teleporting far. Also, it could be teleport, then disappear. Okay. Are the moves hard coded? You play it in record my solution mode, and then that just goes into a file. There we go. That was clean. Why? Oh, whoops. Why was I able to use the mirror? That's funny. Anyway. Yeah, so yeah. Stories you've heard about terrible working conditions are always about QA. I would say that that's more true about QA, but still, again, things that you hear are not representative. All right. It's just not. Just don't believe any of that stuff. It's just people on the internet wanting to get worked up about things or wanting to trap you into clickbait. I'm going to have a golden monkey, damn it. Let me get some water. I'm back in a second. Okay. We got a thing checked off a list. You're inherently going to hear more from people who have bad experiences or great experiences. Well, that's what you would expect normally, but you have to keep in mind there's also a shitty press that hates game developers in the way. So they are also going to do what they're going to do. Not all of them. I'm not saying 100% of the press, but I'm saying the people who publish those stories. All right. So we got Falling with Purple being fixed. We have a Bard Buggle. The Buggles. Let's see a song by the Buggles. Okay, what level is that? Let's use this one. Why are my things never the fuck saved? Okay. Under what conditions does that even save? Why did that pop up? I don't even know. Okay. Let me start prepping this tea. Now, it may sound like exaggeration when I say that these people in the press hate game developers, but I don't think it is. It's really weird because it mirrors a really weird thing that happened in the general technology company and startup press, where the reporters hate those companies for the most part. And I think maybe it's what happens when your industry just chases clickbait for enough years, right? Because you start looking for negative stories, right? You start publishing negative stories, and then everyone in your industry, in your press industry, reads all those industry stories, and like the press is going to read more press than anyone else. And so maybe the press gets the most distorted view, even more than civilians, right? Because they're reading their own distorted output. I don't know. That's my theory. But it happened in games, but it happened even more strongly in just general technology. Like, if you look at some of these people who cover, like, like Stripe kinds of companies or whatever, they think the entire industry is horrible. So I don't know what to say about that. Okay. Golden monkey time. We are having the good stuff tonight. All right. Okay, so we have this problem with a Bard and an open beam. So we get a Bard. And this dude probably. And let's just put them. Let's get rid of these. Do we have power on this level? It doesn't look like we do. Let's make some more flooring. Boop, da whoop. And let's get these. And let's get this. Okay. So now the problem is going to be that the bard should not be able to move this guy into the open beam to open the door. Wait, no. They both have to be here. And the door of the explorer will be there. And the bard will be there. And this should not be legal. Oh, this is, sorry, wrong beam type. Oh no, it is the right beam type. What am I talking about? Look at our new beams. See, that's not supposed to happen. Boop. So we have to fix that. It's only supposed to happen if the guy actually moves that way. Look at how tilted that level. Let's fix the camera on this level. Can we just like not argue about web programming here? It's very, very boring for me. It's very, 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 very boring for me. Is there a good source out there for how to think about debugging OpenGL? No. What you have to do is run something like RenderDoc and try to use it to tell you what the problem is. Often RenderDoc is helpful. You just have to get used to how to run it and stuff. Did I see that Jelly is Sticky released today? No! Wait, are you serious? How did I not know? Jelly is Sticky on Steam. Bro. Elliot didn't even tell me. Maybe he did and I haven't checked Discord. Anyway. That's good shit. Thanks for letting me know. They maybe need to market the game a little better. If it just drops and nobody hears about it. But I will do my best to mention that it's out to people. All right. Let's get my golden monkey. Good stuff. Hell yeah. Have I had a chance to read I did read Termination Shock, yes. I read that in December or something. Okay. close this window. Oh, by the way, guys, I was wondering what laptop to buy. And I was like, oh, the Asus G14. They've got a 2022 model on a very bright white background. Let me figure out which G14 to buy. I guess some of the cases are black and some are white. Okay. How about the tech specs? So I clicked on the tech specs page. That's where we are. Let's read the tech specs. Operating system, Windows 11 Home, Windows 11 Home, Windows 11 Home, Windows 11 Home. Processor, Ryzen 6900, 16 meg cache up to 4.9. Ryzen 6900, 16 meg cache up to 4.9. Ryzen 6900, 16 meg up to 4.9. Ryzen 6900, okay. Maybe the difference is in the GPU. RX 6700S, 8 gig DDR. Okay, maybe it's in the display. 14-inch QHD 1610, 120 hertz, response time 3 milliseconds. Maybe the difference is in the memory. 8 gig DDR5, 8 gig DDR5 4800, max capacity 24 gigs, supports dual channel. Maybe it's in the storage. 1 terabyte of NVMe M2, which sucks, by the way. What the fuck? I/O ports. Combo audio jack, HDMI, 2 USBs. It's all the same. I'm not going to read through it all. Keyboard and touchpad. Backlit, chiclet keyboard, RGB, and touchpad. Camera. Blah, blah, blah. Audio, same thing. Network and communication, same thing. Battery, same thing. Power supply, same thing. All of these dimensions. Okay, we finally get to some differences. Okay. The weight, you will notice, is different on these than these. Why are they lighter? Why are they slightly less deep? What is different in them that is making them lighter or less deep? They don't have the lighting. But they all said like RGB lighting, whatever. Maybe that was on the keyboard. But like, if that's the difference, if that's the one difference, why not say it up here? We have one with like lights on the case. It's like this page was made by one of those very good web programmers that we're talking about in the chat. Oh yeah, Anime Matrix. So somebody designing this laptop went and watched the Animatrix on DVD. And that is the difference. I mean, you're saying what it is. I agree that that's what it is, but like you're saying that as if it's an excuse for it being this bad. There's no excuse for it being this bad. They're trying to sell me this laptop. Like, I'm not going to buy one in part because of this is annoying and frustrating, and in part because of the 1 terabyte of frickin' storage with no other choice. The Animatrix weighs 0.1 pounds. That is about how much a DVD weighs, right? Anyway, no sale. You think if I click the arrow at the side, let's see. Let's test that theory. If I can even find. I also was looking at some of their other laptops, also which don't seem good. G14 page. Okay, so I went here and I went tech specs. Oh yeah, there is an arrow. Okay, so these are different too. Somehow. Radeon 6800. So these are the higher end ones. Like, This is such a terrible way to try to show this information. I also kind of stepping down. So I have a Razer laptop that's frustrating me. And it's a 4K display though. And like stepping down to this thing is like maybe not good. I don't know if I can deal. But it is, on the other hand, 16 by 10, which is better than 16 by 9. Still 1 terabyte. The high-end ones are also 1 terabyte. Dude, like single games take 1 terabyte now. Like if you get Call of Duty. What screen size? This is 14 inch. You touched that high-end Asus laptop on a stored display. You mean this one? The Scar H? I bet the battery life is terrible. Like, that's the problem with buying this kind of thing, is the battery life's always terrible and the fans are always really loud. I should get a Scar H. And I don't mean the laptop. See, here they don't have an arrow. That might be part of why I was confused, because I was used to not seeing it from this page. Maybe not. I don't know. NVIDIA G's Forces 15-inch FHD. No sale. WQHD 1440. That's even not. It's 2022 and people are selling 1080p displays on laptops. Makes me want to puke. Although I guess if you're literally just playing video games on it, that's probably fine. But like if you actually want to use it for anything. Anyway, I have no belief that anything I buy is going to be good, so I'm just so hesitant to push a button on any of these. I mean, carrying all that 308 ammo is pretty heavy too, so. So people keep talking about the framework laptop, and when I first heard about this project, I wasn't that into it. But if it somehow allows me to actually have high quality keyboard and stuff, I would be into it. How do I customize? DIY edition. All these people in the photos are like 18 years old and don't know anything about what's good. Can I like change out the keyboard and stuff, or is it literally like you get these couple of slots? Battery, Wi-Fi. Okay. No, I want a better keyboard than this. All right, rip. 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 By the way, pretty much the only, there's 2 ways that you can injure yourself with a laptop, by the way, right? One is repetitive motion injury, which these shitty keyboards really help with. 2 is eye strain, which all the glossy screens, even that claim to be anti-glare, really help with. So like, it's like really not funny the way in which these are low quality and make bad design choices. They like hurt people. Having it fall on you out of the luggage bin. That's more rare. You can avoid that by not getting on a plane. Conceivably, a third party could offer a better keyboard, but how would you do that? You need to make more space for better keys. Like the laptop has to be designed around a deeper keyboard for that to work. Okay, what do we got? We're trying to figure out enact move. That could be it. Gates. It's one of those two places. What's in Gates? It's not Bill Gates. Maybe, oh, it might be here. Let's see. Are we in the debugger here? Of course I'm not running from the debugger. That would be like a thing. Track point nub hits your fingers. Yeah, but that's not like a debilitating lifelong injury, which repetitive stress can become. And so can eye strain. MacBook has a great keyboard. False. False. Why do you think MacBooks have good keyboards? Have you ever used a real keyboard like this one? Or have you only used laptop keyboards for your whole life? Okay, so it's weird. People get into these modes where they compare things against other things that are also bad because they're making the same decisions. Like all of those laptops are making a decision that they want to be smaller and lower profile and slightly lighter, and they're trading way heavily against keyboard quality on that. Like the old ThinkPads that used to be really good, like the ThinkPad T41P, they had keyboards, they weren't this deep by any means, but they were like kind of a flattened out version of this kind of keyboard, and it felt really good, and it was a very high quality experience. And you didn't hurt your hands using it. Your old C64 has a better keyboard than a MacBook. Yeah, dude, this is an excellent point. Let me show you my first two computers, by the way. Okay, so the Commodore 64 was my second computer, and I'll show you what that looks like. Look at that. It's got a pretty high quality keyboard. It actually wasn't that high quality. It was, the keys were, they were a little bit too hard to press, as I remember, but like, you know, still is decent. Now let me show you my first computer, which had a dog-shaped keyboard. This fucking thing. Hey, look, it's a laptop keyboard from 2022 in the year 19... What year did I get it? I don't even know. Let's... These keys would get stuck down sometime because they're just like, they would recess. You know, there's like this, the black area around the keys is like a stencil, I guess you would say. And the keys would go down in there. And sometimes the corner of one of the keys would get like caught because they would go like all the way down. And how to do the Sinclair. I never had a Sinclair. Which, like Sinclair 1000? Yeah. Probably the worst keyboard. I never had one of these. Yeah, if you can't tell, this is like a ColecoVision membrane kind of thing, right? Where, like, what's the most recent analog to this? I know we've shipped things that have these. ZX81. I mean, it's pretty much the same. Look at that keyboard. So the MacBook keyboard is not the absolute worst keyboard ever made. All right. Your TRS-80 built-in monitor had a normal keyboard. Yeah, that would have been like the Model 1 or the Model 2, right? These ones. This one, Model 4, maybe you're talking about. Yeah, like we used to have real keyboards back in the day, guys. Imagine that. Look at the C programming language on a TRS-80 model, whatever. Ah, the old days. Okay. Anyway, I was going to figure out what is going on. So we're looking at gates. We're going to say maybe open. And this is probably just getting called from the wrong place in the bard function, but who knows? Nudge pushes. Oh. Can go result false. Yeah, this isn't what I expected. This higher level decision is wrong. Okay. This is in charm, right? Yeah. Okay, so otherwise, if the bard cannot go, wow, this is really not the right place to put this. Anyway, because that's not going to scale. This is kind of what happens is you do easy things like this when the code starts, and then eventually it's like, oh my God. All right. Here, let's just do this. I thought I had a function called basic cannot go. Oh, that's the variable. Oh, Oh, do I just set that? Or is that? Because this is one of these monster functions that I like to do sometimes. I think not. All right, let's just do this. Okay. Here we go. Golden Monkey Tea, already getting cold. This Black Rifle coffee mug tastes like America, but the fact that it's big, I think, lets beverages get cold faster. Okay, this is not the way. This is the way. Uh, 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 okay. I mean, I'm tempted to run a Benny test, except we sort of have problems that I don't want to deal with. But we probably should at this point. It's just we have sort of graphics driver problems right now due to weird OpenGL stuff, and since we're going to get DX12 online very soon, it's not really worth fixing it. What does bar double move mean? I would just have to ask. Sometimes I write cryptic notes in a meeting, and I don't know. Okay. I sent an email about this one. Kind of don't like that, but I'm sure we'll update it. Okay. Well, I think we go to new character, Thief Double Beam Pull. This was a scenario where we want to change the gameplay behavior, probably. So we're going to have this thief. This is going to be a double beam. These guys are going to be gone. This is going to be here. Save. Here we go. Spoop. So what's going on is the thief is trying to pull the block. The block is trying to move. It's trying to teleport to where the thief is going. And the decision I guess I made before was like, hey, you know, hey, hey. It's like you can't teleport to where the thief is going, so we're going to block the teleport but let the thief go. But I don't think that's right. I think we should block both of them, and the thief should be stuck and only be able to move laterally. And so I would like to make that change. Okay. Pull, pull, pull. Okay, let's figure out where that is. This one might be easy, it might be hard. Pulls, can pull. Is it to pull? No. If can pull, we pull a thing from this position. Pullable, there we go. Find pullable at. If pullable, okay. So this is where it happens. We are trying to pull a block that is teleporting onto our target position. We not only want the block to not go, but also to block the character, since thief cannot pull or can't not pull. Okay, so okay. So we need to like cancel the move. Like after already kind of filling it out, which is a little bit sketch. Okay. I think if I just set this here and I mean, there's so much going on right here. kind of want a go-to. Actually, let's... Okay, so array remove keeping order by value. I think it's array remove by value. I am open to suggestions on ways of naming these array functions that are both less verbose, but also just as informative and just as much that you don't call the wrong one accidentally. Array ordered remove by value. Like you could imagine, it's remove underscore and then 2 letters like value or index and then ordered or unordered, right? So you have OV or OI or UV or UI. I don't know. That's like annoying. But maybe once you're used to it, it's fine. I don't know. It's just one of those things that isn't very well self-documenting. I want a GUID or wait, we have single, oh geez. Okay, let's just do this. Can't do that anyway. Move type. Compiler stream to add goto. Adding goto might be scary or it might be easy. I kind of need to think about it. Like in principle, it's not hard because we already have gotos in the middle of switch statements and stuff, right? So how hard could it be? The thing is, we need a way to designate the jump target. The reason I haven't just gone ahead and done it is like, yeah, we need a way to designate a goto target. And I could always like just make a new directive for that. But that seems like a waste of a directive, I guess. So like, should we try to make it something that also has some other function? Or like, you know, maybe this is overthinking it, right? But, you know, maybe it's also a way that you name while loops, which you currently can't. For example, maybe you could name blocks and you could break from a block to go to the end of the block, and then you have structured but still go to, right? That would be cool. Maybe it would be a way to make lots of mistakes and trauma. I don't know. Wait, why? What is wrong with this lady? Why can she not push this goddamn block? I broke pushing. Wait. It must be this do basic cannot go. Let's comment this out for a minute. That's very weird that gets set. Convert sections into code blocks. That seems like a very kind of a, what the fuck? Guys, I broke pushing. There's no more game anymore. How do you have a Sokoban game where your characters cannot push things? Explain that to me. Did I put this in the wrong? Oh, dude, this is like... Wait, this is the wrong... What? Okay. This is different. This is structured differently than I thought. We're going to go diff this. Not in there. Enact move. Diff. Why are there so many if pullables in a row? Because computers. Okay, is pusher or puller? If pushes. So I move that to down there. I am not sure why that would matter. Wait. I went from not guy could go. Oh, this could be... Oh, you know, I made a logical error. Maybe not. Oh, that's for charmed stuff anyway. That should not be active right here. Oh boy, I don't understand how this being up here is likely to change anything, but it's where it was. Also, maybe this is an x64 code gen problem. I think there's an x64 code gen, but. What? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy. Like, maybe we break from the loop, the outer loop down here. I don't know, but the problem is... The problem is we don't want to do this. Why? Let's read the code. So we find a pullable. But we don't, because this character can't pull at all. Oh, I put it inside can pull. That's why. Dude. That was a smooth brain. That was a smooth brain. Let's make sure we can still push blocks, because without that, we ain't got a game. Awesome. Now, here, pull. Ah, there we go. That's what we wanted. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what bar double move means. Yes, we already were informed about Jelly is Sticky coming out. I have played some of it. I played it way back pre-release, and it was a good game. So, yeah. Yes. Yes. What is going on? If I just want to know what are the top indie games on Steam right now during Paradox Publisher Weekend. I didn't know Paradox published these games. Top seller. Oh no, indies. Oh, they don't really have indie anymore because all the frickin' games are indie now. I guess you go to categories. No, because they took indie off categories, didn't they? It's on the left bar. Indie. Ah, okay. Top sellers. Midnight Ghost Hunt. That looks like a weird variety game. Okay. Stardew Valley. The most selling indie game in the universe in 2022. Rogue Legacy 2, Risk of Rain 2, Project Zomboid. These all sound like games that have been around a long time, except for the sequels to the games that have been around a long time. Outer Wilds? That's pretty interesting that they managed to chart on the indie charts by being on sale. Not even a huge sale. It's like a 40% off sale. This is kind of like not great news for new indie games. You know what I'm saying? It's great news for people who made these older indie games because they can keep doing their thing. Check out the Cerebral Puzzle Showcase, maybe. Cerebral Dr. Cerebro Pack. Cerebral Puzzle Showcase. Apparently there's no such thing. Except, of course, that Steam is not really a thing. My Store. Is it on My Store? Oh, I didn't know there was a CSGO tournament coming up. Dude, it's this weekend. I was just thinking I would like to watch a good CS tournament. I was just thinking that. So that's cool. On the homepage, Midnight Ghost Hunt, Expeditions franchise, Today's Deal, Hood, Sniper, Cerebral Puzzle Showcase. Welcome to the Schmist, Dorf on Golf, Inscription, Platonic, which we just played, Recursive Ruin. Is that like actually a fractal game, or is it like there's fractals in the art? Jelly is Sticky. Oh, they have a pretty dope front image. That's like investing in your art. Cardo Paper Trail has. This is a lot of puzzle games. are on sale. I guess the idea, these aren't really in a package, but I guess the idea is like, hey, we put them all on sale at the same time. Right? And like they get attention that way. Something like that. Liquid's already out. Is Brett Weinstein not playing at peak performance? Railbound. The art style there looks good. It's simple but good. Golf Peaks. This looks like a game that Mark did, sort of. I mean, there's definitely a lot of games in here. Most of them I know or have played or etc. I don't know The Last Cube. Oh, this is that game. No, I do know this game. I have played it. Didn't it have some different name when I played it? Cube 2. Talos Principle. Really is a lot of puzzle games on sale. I wonder how successful this is. Because on the one hand, the fact that it's a lot of puzzle games on sale means more people might pay attention, right? But it also means there's less focus on any individual game. And so I kind of wonder if you're an individual game participating in this, how far ahead do you come out? Because there's just so many games here. Oh, there's a schedule. Oh, it's a show. It's a show. Cracking the Cryptic. Early bird demo stream. Yagamoth. Okay. Cool. So it's a show on the same weekend as the CS tournament. That's a little rough, but you know. Liquid went 0-3. Oh man. Wait, is Stewie 2K still on Liquid, or did he like move again? Is he even in this year? Or is he too old? Stewie's EG. Okay. The Stewie thing was weird because he went to like Furia or whatever the Brazilian team was for like one season, and that really didn't work. I don't know, man. Okay, we got the thief. So now we're going to work on wizard movement. And ACS is dead because of COVID restrictions. Oh, is like teams can't go to Europe? Is that the deal? I thought you could go to Europe now. I thought like I could fly to Europe now if I want to. Is that not the case? Oh, I see. Yeah. You just mean the American CS teams are all slow and lazy now because they didn't train hard enough for 2 years. That makes a lot of sense. That is a thing. That is a thing. Okay, so Mr. Wizardry. Mr. No, not that. Let's make this a different color. Like more of a brown. If I ever tried Valorant, no, Valorant just didn't look like a very good game to me. I just had no desire to play it. Like, I don't think Counter-Strike needs like hero powers and ultimates and all that stuff. Like I'm not interested in that. Also, there's just, I don't know, there's a lot about the game that just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why. Okay, so the wizard is going to be here. Okay. And the wizard is going to be subject to a through beam. And we're just we don't know what happens here. Okay, so he could swap and not swap back, which actually makes sense. That doesn't make sense, though. Oh, actually, that doesn't make sense either. Should definitely try it when no, I just have no interest in Valorant. I'm not going to play it. I don't care. It just doesn't, I don't like it. Okay, and that makes sense as well. So this is the thing that doesn't work. The wizard swappity boppity. So we need some additional testing on wizard motion. Wizard motion. Let me turn off the air conditioning. Okay, so when the wizard swaps, that'll be can tell a wizard. We call some function wizard scan. Okay. Non-telly endpoints. I don't know what that means. Oh, you're in an endpoint beam. Okay. Okay, so here we'll say, if the wizard is in a wall, if the wizard is in a wall and either doesn't have throughs or is swapping with something that doesn't have throughs, the teleport fails. Find wall. Is wall at is wall at guy dot position. If is wall teleport blocked by wall is false. Throughs colors is get colors struct guy. Throughs is if x colors then this. If is wall. If through not throughs. is wall. Oh. How about this? Actually, if isWall at source and isWall at dest, there's different ways you can factor this, and my brain keeps going back and forth. Let's do this. Start position. Like after we've dereferenced the guys, this is fine. This is fine. Now, okay, so if there's a wall at source or isWall at dest, they both need to have throughs. Okay. Found 0. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I remembered this and then I forgot it, which is why I was flailing back and forth. Okay, so teleport blocked by wall equals true. All right, if the teleport is blocked by the wall, what do we do? Let's just say, if not teleport blocked by wall, all this stuff, blah. Okay. Boom. Why don't we start on this level? It's called inconsistency. All right. So that shouldn't have worked. Bro. Whoops. Blocked by the wall. Blocked by wall. Okay, literally, what happens here? Boom. Okay, colors source through source. Colors dest. Oh, I forgot right here. Here, colors, source, colors, dest. We must have already had a colors. Colors. Where's the colors? It's way the hell up there. Okay. So like, we'll just use it down here. How to learn game dev. Just if you're asking that question, you're going to fail. That's how to learn game dev. Should he like try to teleport? I don't know about that. So what happened there is he can't teleport. So he walked, but like, maybe that's fine. We want to nudge the object so that the character knows what's happening. Okay, on the other hand, if we do the following thing. Okay. Now it works. Check that shit out. We might do a level design time this weekend. I think that's it. Oh, we got to nudge the thing. Let's just say, just so we stop doing this awkward thing, target nudge entity what is my nudge delta? Like, it should be the frickin'. It's impossible to sort through and find that. It's just, you got to understand, I see so many people ask this question and then never hear from them again, which means they probably don't. Why be so hard? I mean, like the thing, okay. The thing you got to, I'm not the right person to ask this question for many reasons. I'm just not the right person to ask this question. Yeah, the 100 times a day is part of it, for sure. But good luck, okay? It is, game programming is cool. And if you want to get into it, I fully encourage that. It's just, you don't, what I said 45 minutes ago, last time somebody asked this, is you don't get into it by asking permission, you just do it. And like asking around about how to get started and stuff is sort of a way of asking permission in a way. And that's not what gets you there. Okay, so well, I'm just trying to do this last little thing, which is like teleports are complicated. They could bounce off mirrors and stuff. We have this original delta. Let's just do that down here. You know what? Sometimes we just want to get it done. At some point, we're going to do a transaction correctness sweep, and we'll do that. All the information with stuff like SDL and SFML, all these libraries and stuff. I mean, that yeah, I agree that stuff kind of sucks, but like, dude, when I was learning game programming, I had to say 10 print hello, 20 go to 10. Like, it's just I learned it how I learned it. Okay, so now we at least nudge the dude. Okay. Uh, uh. Like, I don't know that I would give somebody Handmade Hero as their first game programming resource unless they very specifically want to learn what Casey is doing. Even if it wasn't coming from somewhere external, the music would not freeze because it's running in another thread. So it does not wait for loads and all that. This is the time of multi-threaded programming in the universe. I made that level.
Telling the truth can be bad news.
Telling the truth can be bad news. Telling the truth can be telling the truth can be good news.
Telling the truth is a bad idea.
Telling the truth is a difficult problem.
Telling the truth is a scary. Telling the truth is a scary predicament.
Telling the truth is a bitter herb.
Telling the truth is a dangerous tunnel.
When you get out of that tunnel, you've got bitter
a black
herbs.
life ahead. Forget herb. I never heard of a hit that had the word herb in it.
Telling the truth is a dangerous.
Dangerous.
Telling the truth can be dangerous.
What? Danger. Telling the truth can be danger. Telling the truth can be dangerous
business.
Telling the truth can be dangerous business. Why? 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 Telling the truth can be dangerous business because if yourself, you don't know why.
Huh?
Well, I'm just giving you what the idea is. Telling the truth can be dangerous business. If you don't know yourself, then you don't know why.
Oh, is that brilliant?
Telling the truth can be dangerous business. Honest and popular don't go hand in hand. If you admit that you can play the accordion, no one will hire you in a rock and roll band. But we can sing our hearts out. And if we're lucky, we'll no neighbors complain.
All right. It's taking long because apparently I haven't done a Benny test on here in so long that I haven't crunched all these textures and meshes and stuff. Also, we're going to have to fix all these like frickin', you know, contrast fade in issues. Because we can sing our hearts out. We can sing our hearts out. Well, we got 500 successes. The game going to have more levels and witness panels? Probably, yeah. Probably, yeah. One of these days we'll get through the levels. One of these days, feed me. Feed me. One of these, that looks cool. I just don't like the character proportions. WTF. But aside from that, we're okay. Never heard of a hit with the word levels in it. Game kind of is dragging down. I wonder if we have. I mean, it looks to me like it's kind of still dragging on asset processing, but like let's. I mean, it doesn't look like there's a huge leak. There could be like a smaller leak in. No, because these are going fast again. So. Yeah. It's just taken a while to reprocess the assets. Now, what worries me is what if I just newly broke some of these levels? How am I going to figure that out? "24 fails." I think we were supposed to be down below 20 the other week, so these might be new Dude, I get so many cryptocurrency spams, and they're all literally the same text every time. The beams look way better now. Yes, they do. The beams have had substantial work done. What is going on with the frame rate here? It's probably the beams. It's probably that the beams are really long and it's causing us to spawn up a bunch of particles. This level is very, 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 very wide, and it may be that if we don't cap all the beams that they're going real far. How many people are full-time? Something like 14 people. How many shifted out of San Francisco? Almost everybody. We only have 2 people in the Bay Area. I think living in the actual city of San Francisco, we have 1 person at the current time. Oh my God, look at this frame rate. If you don't know your frame rate, then you don't know why. I mean, the playtest is doing pretty well, considering the frame rate. You know what I'm saying? Is there a good reason to live in San Francisco now? No. No, there isn't. Even if you have a reason to be in the area, just live in one of the cities nearby. Do not actually live in San Francisco, is my recommendation. Yeah, guys, this game is now a point and click adventure. If you don't know yourself, then you don't know why. I think the camera is just interpolating somewhere. I don't actually know. Yep. Yep, here we go. Oh boy, that's bright. That's very bright. If you don't know yourself, then you don't know why. you don't.
Went right back under the...
Sorry, I was clicking on a video and it was loud. $712. Heck yeah. Okay, we are done, I think. Yes. 30 levels failed. That's not that bad, but it is more than I had thought. And there's some wizard level there and stuff. No, wrong one. See, we were down to 18 at some point. Aggro thief. What's going on with aggro thief? Lol. My new rule means you can't fucking do anything on this level. Fuck. Okay, that's 2 new broken levels. This level's unreadable. What the actual fuck am I looking at? Okay, so I don't remember the solution to this level. But I don't feel like it's something I would have broken. So obviously I have to do this. Okay. So now I could do this. Whose level is this? It is Zach's. That's what I thought. It feels kind of claustrophobic to me. Is my thing. Oh. What do I do? I feel like I don't really know here. Yeah, this level definitely needs like more of a pass on it. This is just unreadable, sadly. How long ago was this edited? Let's see. I imagine it's probably currently being worked on or recently. Maybe not. Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah. I remember the history of this level now, so not too bad. I'm actually going to make the executive move of bringing the camera in a little bit. See how much that helps. And this level is going to get revised later anyway. But for now, this is going to be the default view. It's going to be a little bit, it should maybe even be closer, but we'll start there. I'm a little too tired to solve puzzles right now, but I don't feel like this is broken due to stuff that I just did. But I don't know. Beamer 2, binary maze, bypass gates. Oh. Like, what happens here? Like, does the thief greedily hold on to this? I actually am not sure how the change that I made had this result, but it seems to have. The level is probably solvable still. You just like push this out here, right? Oh, no, don't do that. And then you go there, and then you go. So it just requires... And then do we have to get the actual beam in? I feel like we need to get the beam like around. I don't know how to solve this. It's kind of tricky. Anyway. So that is definitely broken due to the rule change, but we don't know if it is. Actually, I'm not sure if that's what. Not sure, because I don't understand why this had that effect. I think this is new. I don't understand. Like, that seems touchy. Dang it. Oh, we can't push him north. We got to push him south. That's kind of interesting. Nope. Nope. Okay, and then we do that. And then... So we have to get him past the dragon. Nope. I have to get this dude past the frickin' dragon. Nope, that's not going to do it. Okay. Now that, I think, is too frickin' far. Oh, no, it's not. Cute. Cute level. Okay. Now what? Skipping pals, skipping stones. Thief through. That sounds... So, I didn't think that I did this. But I guess I did. Oh, huh. Okay. Lol if move is equal to teleport. I didn't check if the move type is teleport, right? So this level is called thief through. Did I save this one? All right. Thief through. So I'm going to leave it this way, but I think maybe the thief shouldn't be able to go in those conditions, right? Yeah. Okay, so I think it's Miller time. I think that is all the work that we were going to do tonight. Various movement rule modifications based on this week's design meeting. I don't know what's with the FBS workspace. And there we go. Okay, I will send an email off the screen. I will say, oh, the vertical beams got fixed. That's great. Wow, I just complained about it and they got fixed. This is good times. Okay, movement stuff based on design meeting. Changes are mostly in, barred, fix, etc. That said, I wrote on the piece of paper, barred double move, and I have no idea what that referred to. Was there a problem with barred and double beam? The wizard and wall stuff is in as well. I think the thief blockage. Also, this raised a new rule question. If the thief is trying to pull a non-teleporting object into a wall via through beam, and that object cannot go into the wall, should the thief just leave it behind as happened before, or else insist on holding onto it and refusing to go? I accidentally implemented it this way, and it seems more in character, though also maybe slightly more frustrating. I'm not sure. It does affect some levels, but maybe not in a way such that they become unsolvable. If so, what about a block on the other side of a fence? Does she grab that and refuse to go without it? Okay. One level that is, we'll see what the, similar question for the modified wizard rules. If the wizard is in the wall at the edge of open space while in a through beam, and he tries to move out, which would swap him with a block that itself cannot go into the wall. According to this week's rule, the wizard's teleport is blocked. Right now, this means he just walks out from the wall. But should he be stuck unable to go that way because the teleporting is overriding normal movement. It just doesn't work. Question mark. Okay, that has been my communique. All right. I think that's it for tonight. I think I've done my extra little bit of work for the day. And things are pretty okay right now. Oh, I'll send one more mail. Thanks for the very fast fix. One other issue. The level magnitudes. Let's make sure this happens interactively and it's not just the test. Dude, okay. Is it just the test? What's going on? Weird. I must have slowed down the test code horribly in some way. Okay, it's not the beam thing. I was going to bug someone about the beams, and doesn't appear to be the beams. Unless the beams are really slow in test mode. That'll have to be something we look at. All right, thanks everybody. See you later. Have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good etc.